Good morning, everyone, and happy Mother's Day to everyone, all the mothers here, and to all our mothers wherever they may be. Thank you. The word mother is one of the most beautiful words in any language of the world. Mama is also one of the first word a child says. As well, the word mother is one of the first words in the Bible, because the word mother not only refers to a person, but also implies the creation of a child that is connected to a lifetime relationship that a man and a woman commit to have with each other. This relationship is very biblical because it flows from the gift of God and also mirrors the many ways that God relates to us and God's constant love for us from the time of creation up until the end of our life. And then, of course, He welcomes us in eternal life. So this phase that begins as we're very small and continues to when we're very old mirrors how our earthly relationship with God is very similar to our relationship with our mother. This word mother, as found in the Bible, is found in these many ways. For example, in Genesis 2, when the first man saw the first woman, he said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She would be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore, a man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh." And by extension, that man and woman who leaves their father and mother also become father and mother. Then in Genesis 3:2, we read, "The man called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all the living." And then in an often overlooked section, in Genesis 17, God not only changes Abraham's name to Abraham, then blesses him, but God also changes Sarai's name to Sarah and blesses her as well. And then we are told, God said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name, and therefore I will bless her. And moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings and peoples shall come from her." These verses point to the reality of every human's existence and foundational and ongoing relationship with God, but also with each other. God created man and woman for a permanent and loving relationship with each other. The foundation of this relationship is their care, their love, and their commitment to each other, which then offers them an opportunity to go beyond their isolated selves as a man and a woman, to then care, love, and commit to their children. This breaks them out of selfishness into a reality of selflessness. And that is perhaps also why this word mother evokes such strong feelings in all of us. The beauty of this commitment that is very intertwined with each other and with God is that it first elevates these two people from a random man and a woman to specifically a husband and a wife to each other. And then it elevates them even further to father and mother as they participate in God's gift of both creation and perhaps even more importantly, of responsibility in that creation. Therefore, mother is not just a beautiful word because of our mother's love for us, but also because our mothers have a crucial role in our very existence, in our creation. And in that, they also become visible signs of God's love for us and God's ongoing commitment to each and every one of us, as a mother shows her ongoing commitment to us throughout our whole life. So whether we give our mothers chocolates, flowers, or others gifts might be significant to us, but these are far less important than making sure we give our mothers our commitment to always respect, appreciate, and love them. It is no surprise that in a culture that we are living in today, where God is set aside and even denied, then that the crucial relationships God established are also denied and even attacked. Unfortunately, the words marriage, woman, and mother have become very politically incorrect words today. A child who, while knowing very little, knows how to utter the word mama to a woman who is his or her mother. Although we seem very intelligent as a society, perhaps even as a country, the irony in our society is that we have a hard time even acknowledging what is a woman, what is marriage, and what is mother. Our so-called level of extreme intelligence is sometimes far less than the most basic intelligence of a child who knows how to acknowledge mama. There has been a lot of news these days of why we as Catholics are pro-life and what this actually means. Catholics are pro, P-R-O, and that is the word for. Pro is the Latin word for. Therefore, we are for the life of a child. We are pro, we are for, in addition, and simultaneously, for the life of a woman. And pro, that is for, the life of marriage and the health of marriage, that is a blessing for a committed man and a woman, and a blessing as they continue to bless and create offspring whom they are blessed with and whom they bless. Today, as we celebrate Mother's Day, it is important for all of us to reflect on how and why we were created. Today, I feel, is possibly one of those ironic days in human history. On Mother's Day, we celebrate life, love, and relationships, while groups who don't respect either human life or religious freedom have called for Catholic churches to be protest and religious services to be disrupted, specifically on this day. The political and legal elements of this topic definitely contain many angles, but the medical side is rather simple. At 3 weeks in the womb, the child's heart is in an advanced stage of formation. The eyes begin to form, and the brain, spinal column, and nervous system are virtually complete. At 24 days, a little over 3 weeks, the child's heart begins to beat. At 4 weeks, muscles are developing. Arm and leg buds are visible, and blood flows in the baby's veins that is separate from the mother's blood. By this time, the child is around 1/4 of an inch. At around 43 days, the baby's brain waves can be recorded. At 45 days, a baby begins spontaneous and voluntary body movements, and the milk teeth buds are present. By 2 months, 8 weeks, the preborn baby is well proportioned and all organs are present, complete, and functioning. The heart beats sturdily. The stomach produces digestive juices. The liver makes blood cells, and the kidneys are functioning. The taste buds are forming, and unique fingerprints are being engraved. Eyelids and the palms of hands are sensitive to touch. And with the blessings of technology, when a woman is pregnant, we are able to see all this live and in action. And in addition to this, medical experts agree that fetal pain begins at 12 weeks gestation and may be felt as early as 8 weeks. The above clearly tells us that human life begins in the womb. Even before these medical details could be clarified, the Bible has also affirmed it. For example, in Jeremiah 1, "Now the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you." And a very detailed expression of God's creation of us and our formation in the womb. Psalm 139:13 says, "For you did form my inward parts, you did knit me together in my mother's womb." Kind of prophetic statement for the details of medical development that we would later, much later, discover and learn of. We as Catholics are committed to respect human life from the womb all the way to the tomb. We as Catholics are committed to the health of the child, the health of the mother, and the health of the marriage that sustains them. We are committed to these not as a political or as a legal position, whatever those may be in whatever country we live in around the world, but because God is the author of life, because God has placed His life in every single one of us, and because God created us to have a relationship with Him, and that relationship is mirrored in our relationship when we commit ourselves to each other. On Mother's Day, we celebrate our mothers, and we also celebrate God who gave us our mothers. We also remind ourselves that we are grateful for our life. We are grateful to the life of our mothers. And we are also grateful to all life from the child's earliest moment to child's and adult's last breath here on earth.